I just don't think enough people are considering what they want out of their future.
Imagine being a 55, 60-year-old coach.
Coaches need to be more switched on.
You've got to have some kind of out.
Earn more money, make more money, make more money. And it's like, yeah, but why?
In this video, we're going to talk to you about how we're able to retire at 40 years of age.
Hey guys, we're Dan and Mike from
Stone.
Business and Banter.
I might be by that point.
Formerly Biceps and Banter as well. And we're here today to talk to you about, no, we're not. First of all, we're here to help you in any way we can with your online fitness business. And today we're going to talk about how we're able to retire when we're 40. Now, we might not look that old. We might look in our 20s, both of us.
40?
Do you know?
Yeah.
I mean, my hair suggests
that must be a good 15 years away.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. 15 years away.
I'm closer to 40 than you think, you know.
I think. So, yeah, I think, based on our calculations, and based on kind of where we're at and what we're doing in life, we basically have a plan to retire from the world of work in our 40s. I'll be 40, he might be 41, so close.
When will we start winding down? Let's just work this out. So we're going to do this before. We're stopping. This is it. This is it
now. We're getting into it. This
is the last time that we will take people on. The last calls we'll probably be taking will be June 2027, and that will be for January starters, won't it? 28.
I think it's 2028.
But for January starters, 28.
Yeah.
And then that'll be it. So we've got all 25, all 26, all 27. So that's your 3 years.
Yeah.
And then whoever's in the business, January 28, can stay in the business. Good luck to you.
You're in. Sure.
But we'll have no new starters. So that means that 28 is 25. So I will be 40.
Yeah.
But I'll be 41 in the Feb. So I'll still be working at 41, but it'll be winding down.
Yeah.
Big time. So,
yeah, because I planned it as April 2029.
I probably could have retired earlier than that if only I had like a members group to join.
Yeah, if only there was like a real like remember when we were starting out, we were like, I wish there was something affordable.
Yeah.
Like that I could join to help my business.
I wish there was something roughly priced at about £100.
That might be a bit too expensive, Mike. Maybe more like £99.
That would have been brilliant.
That would have been better, wouldn't it?
It would have been
been in that like a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had a members group almost full of like 250 coaches or more. They were all...
What's that in the link below?
On the same journey as me.
What? Look at that in the link below.
Surely though, for £99, it can't help you with your lead generation, your content creation, understand your niche, get better at coaching, sales calls.
Oh, what's that? It can.
Surely not. For all that. Surely though, you've got to pay a big chunk up front. And it's not just a rolling contract you can cancel anytime.
It is just a rolling contract.
Forgot about that. Why not get involved? So yeah, I worked out that it's my 40th birthday, April 2029. So it'll be, you're right. It is that, isn't it? June 2027.
How will it be your 40th birthday? You're not 2 years younger than me, are you? You're not turning 35. Turning 36, are you?
36, yeah. But I was born in 1989. So if it's 2029, then I'll be 40, won't it? That's good maths, that. Good maths, isn't it? April 2029, I'll be 40. So I worked it out.
Hang on. April 26, you're going to be 37.
Yeah.
27, 38.
Yeah. 28.
28.
You can see what's going with this kind.
29.
29, yeah.
So I've got to go until I'm 29. Not years of age, but April 29.
Yeah.
And that's where we're stopping completely. I want it to be sooner than that, though.
Well, you can, mate, by all means, But
so I'll be what then? So I'm a year older than you, aren't I?
You are a year older than me. So you'll be 41. That's what we said, yeah. It's like
I'll be 41.
40th was a bit too soon for you because you're a bit too old. You don't look it though, so you look younger than me, so you're fine with that. Anyway, the point of this, right, is that when this video goes out, you will literally have a 2-year window to basically work with us. Now, we've had it before where people are, oh, surely you guys can hit bored, surely, you won't be doing this, won't be doing that, whatever. And it just comes down to really like what you value and what you want out of your life, right? Because I think people are often shocked maybe, or a little bit surprised maybe, when we told them that. I know I've had a lot of people like, oh, you won't retire, surely not. You'll be bored. Surely you'll do something. Maybe we will. But for us, I know for a fact that we value freedom over a lot of other stuff. Certainly over
Mr. William Wallace.
What reference is that? Bad with references. This podcast.
If you know the reference, comment below.
Comment below with the reference. It's like we're not into flashy cars and attractive women. That's why I live in Islam.
That's why we live in Dubai.
We're not all about that, flashing the cash for the sake of it, because we've got again, values, we've got things we want to achieve. And for us, retiring early and not needing to work is a huge part of what we want to do going forward. So we've kind of worked it out, and we work backwards from that point and go, right, well, how much do you need to have saved in investments? How much do you need to have, coming in financially from those? We've worked out a bit of a system whereby we're switched on, done a bit of maths, worked it out, predictions and all this sort of stuff. Now, obviously, certain things you can't predict, massively into the future, but you can if you plan for worst case scenarios, which we have done, and we'll basically be all right to retire when we're 40 and 41. So how do we do that, and how are we able to do that? That's probably the question that's on most people's lips. It's like, how does that work?
So it starts with being structured with your finances. That's one thing. The amount of coaches that aren't structured with their finances, that don't put anything away for tax even, which is like the worst thing, that then don't save on top of that then don't invest on top of that, or put anything into a pension or an ISA or anything like that. And obviously things are a little bit different with us because we currently live in Dubai. So we technically aren't allowed to put anything into a pension. Not that it would form part of our strategy anyway, even if we could whilst we lived there. And we can't use ISAs in the UK either. Would we use them if we were in the UK? If we were in the UK?
Possibly, yeah, to offset against businesses, limited company.
So if we're in the UK, and if you're in the UK, you would probably use a pension to offset some tax. Is it up to 60?
I think it's a lot.
60 grand or 40? It's either 40 or 60 grand.
A bit less than that.
40. Yeah. I think it's 40. Yeah. I think you can put up to 40 grand a year into pension that comes off the tax bill. But luckily we don't have to worry about that. So we've been, I'd say, pretty shrewd with things. I think one of our, not bugbears, because it's each to their own, but there's certainly people that are in our space that throw their money around a little bit more than what we would, and it gives this illusion of success. Of course it does. If you buy a flashy car, I mean, I've got a flashy car. Arguably, I just don't shout about it as much as the next man. The next man being Mr. We all know.
We all know.
They know. They know. Tell them later. And it's like we could have probably have made ourselves look, I don't know, more affluent, more successful, whatever you want to call it, if we'd have purchased more material things, or at least shown the purchase of those material things, like, let's just say. But instead, we've been pretty aggressive. Is it aggressive? Yeah, pretty aggressive with our investment strategy. We looked into property, didn't quite work out. Too difficult logistically being in Dubai, too many hoops to jump through for our time. But we've basically just gone relatively heavy on investments in a couple of different things. So we've got stocks and shares, bonds, gold, and we do some angel investing. And we've got a certain number. Are we going to talk about them?
Yeah, why not?
So we basically are investing.
You don't want to say it, do you?
I get.
You don't have to say it if you don't want to say it.
I get stuck in my throat. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, let's not mention numbers then, right? We don't have to mention numbers, but I say this to people regularly, and I say, look, I only spend 30% of what I earn. So you make of that what you will, right? And you can work out some maths based on maybe what you think we might be earning and things like that. Because again, we're not big about shouting about it, right? We don't. But that other 70% is invested, and if you can imagine, if you were to invest 70% of what you earn, you'd be doing quite well. But I think it's safe to say that on a monthly basis, I'm happy to say that we probably invest what could be a yearly salary in the UK for some people. Certainly for my mum, it was, and we invest that pretty much on a monthly basis, like each. Yeah, each month as well, by the way, each. So, again, quite aggressive, where you can go, okay, we could probably buy, whatever we wanted out of that and look very affluent and all those things like Mike said. But to us, our strategy is I want to be in a position when I'm 40 where I don't need to work. Now, again, we keep coming up with this, should he get bored? Should you guys all be someone that just want to carry on working? No, we won't. I want to chill out for a bit. I want to relax. I want to go on holidays. I want to, enjoy not doing anything for a little while and clear my head, and maybe we'll do something creative together in the future. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll keep doing these podcasts. Maybe we'll keep doing other things. Who knows where we'll be? But the point here is that we've got a goal we're working towards. And I think that a lot of coaches don't have that. They don't know why they're doing this, and they don't know what they're trying to achieve with it and what they want out of owning their own business. Because as we've alluded to on previous videos, owning your own business is difficult. It's tough. It's hard. There's a lot of work involved. But I think that so many coaches don't have the end goal in mind, so they don't know what they're working towards. We're happy. We're able to do the work we're doing now and the amount of hours we're doing because we know that the end goal is worth it. I wouldn't say we're happy to work as hard as we are. I think no one's ever happy to do that amount of work. But it is that delayed gratification of knowing that it's worth it. I know that I want to do what I do now because it'll pay off in the future. And we're going to be in a position where, as mentors, like I've said this before to Mike, and I'll say it now, is that I want us to be known as the people that when we retire, that people in the fitness industry say, I wish they'd stayed around longer. That sounds a bit egotistical. That's probably a little bit of my ego coming out and what I want us to be known for. But I want people to go, I wish they didn't retire. I wish they'd have stuck around.
Yeah.
I don't want to be those people that were like, oh, fucking hell, they're scamming people all over the place. They're doing this. Again, it's against our ethics anyway. We wouldn't do that, obviously, right? But this industry gets a bad rap, and I, again, my ego, I want to be the person that goes out on a high. I want to be like, again, this is going to sound a bit fucking egotistical, like a bit like Sir Alex Ferguson, right? A bit like those people that go out on a high. They don't just, not comparing myself to Alex Ferguson, but those people that go out on a high, they go out on top, not just peter out into the non-leagues and just fucking become someone that's irrelevant. It's a bit of that, which is
for me, it's like completed it, like type thing.
Yeah.
And I come back to this a lot, and we say this a lot in our members group, which is only £99.
Just £99?
Just 99.
Fucking hell. Unbelievable.
I say this a lot where I bring this up in quite a lot of our calls when we talk about goal setting or expectations. It's like there's nothing that special about us or what we've done, barring the fact that we work hard, we're committed to failing, as daft as that sounds. We're happy to fail and fail fast. We're committed to learning, and we appreciate delayed gratification, and we're able to do the work across time. Like, that's it. I don't think it's so far away from what some people can do. I'm not going to say everybody, because I genuinely don't think that a chunk of the industry, this might sound harsh, I think a chunk of the industry shouldn't be self-employed. I think they should be employed. That might sound harsh, but it does take a certain personality trait, in my opinion, to be successful over a long term with business, being self-employed. It comes back for me, I'm like, I don't think that we're that special with anything. Like, I feel like we're just two normal guys who have been committed to doing a good job, and we can say that from year 1 to year 10, working together, we've completed it. We've done a lot, like built a fitness business, transitioned into helping coaches. In turn, what I feel quite proud of is being able to change some of their lives. Like, it sounds mad, but like when I sit there and I talk to some of my clients and they're doing ridiculous amounts of numbers and they're getting on the property ladder and they're buying their dream car and they're able to provide for their family, and some of them are paying their parents' mortgages and stuff like that, I'm just like, that fills me with like a lot of pride. Those are the good days in my job, like that, where I just smile when I'm on those calls with people. Like, and I go, we've done what we've done in 10 years, and then we're out, and I'm happy with that. I've done a good job, and people have said to me, but the business is doing this, and you're flying, and why wouldn't you keep going? And you go, no, I'm happy, I'm content. We don't need to be known any, like, I don't want people to, like, I don't know, I think some people in our competition or our industry want to be center of attention. I think they want to be known. I'm like, no, I'll just keep doing a good job. Like, that's it. And after 10 years, because we've been smart with what we're doing, we're out. It's cool. Like, we're done. And when that day comes round, when I'd never need to make an Instagram post again, unless I want to, and where I never need to wake up and take calls unless I want to, like, then you've been successful. And success for me isn't whether you've got a nice watch or whether you've got a flashy car or whatever. It's, I can do what I want on my terms for the rest of my life now, because I've been smart enough to put money away, to invest stuff, to work hard enough to look after the future version of me at 41, that I don't have to do anything that anybody else wants me to do again. Done. And
that is what we term as retirement. And people, like I said, have said, oh yeah, but you won't just sit around and be bored and do nothing all day. I was like, no, we will for a first year probably. And then we'll probably still be, spend a lot of time together doing stuff, playing golf, fucking around. And maybe we do something, right? Do. But like Mike said, for me, it's that freedom of going, it's only because we want to do it. At the moment in our business, we still do stuff because we need to do it. Now, we need to do it because we want to be in that position in the future. We need to do it because we've got clients to fulfill. They're paying us money. We have to fulfill that job. We have to do that work because that's what we're about. And if you were to sit there and go, what would my life look like if I was to just do what I wanted to do every day? What does that look like? What do I need? What's the financial amount that I need? You can start to work backwards from that point to figure it out. Now, some of you may be a bit young, that again, you might want families, you might want all these things, you don't know this stuff yet, and that's cool. Maybe that is the case, right? And I'm sure there are some people that would sit there and argue like, well, why don't you just do what you want to do now and not worry about the future? And I'm like, if you're that way inclined and you have that mentality, good for you, but I need security. You need security. I think everyone does secretly deep down. I think that's what finances provide you, right? It's a security, knowing that you can do it, knowing that you've got it there if you need it. I don't think, obviously that's what retirement is. A lot of people is they save enough money up so that they can retire. And I just don't, like Mike said, I just don't think it's that far away for a lot of people, or certainly closer than they think it is. But just no one's teaching people this stuff. No one's talking about this stuff. No one's flying their flag for it, but you just don't see people talk. All you see from all these mentors and all you see from all these people is just like, earn more money, make more money, make more money. And it's like, yeah, but why? What are you doing it for? Like, arguably, we live in a city here, right, where I see people with a lot of money. And I kind of go, yeah, but are they happy? Like, what are they doing it for? Like, is there a lot of stress involved? And for me, it's like, I'd rather live a stress-free life with a certain amount of money than a higher stress life and have a fucking yacht and all this sort of shit. I don't need a fucking yacht. I don't like fucking going on the sea, right? Get seasick for one. It's just remembering why you're doing it. And I think a lot of the stuff that you see in here is just make more money. And I'm like, yeah, but why? Why? And once you work that out, you'll be amazed how much clearer your goal is with your business, what you want to achieve, whether you should hire people, whether you should grow, whether you should take more clients on, whether you should do all these things, right? It's when you work backwards and you reverse engineer it, it may not be as crazy as you think to think that you could retire in 10 years from this point on. Now, when we started this, I'm not going to sit here and say we had a goal to retire in 10 years. We didn't when we started this. It's only more coming to fruition maybe the last 5 years. When we look at it and go, hang on a minute, what does this look like? Like I said, a year ago, we started looking at property stuff because that was, again, the end play was retirement and change into that. Didn't work out, cool. But it was in the back of our mind when we moved here to go, hang on a minute, like, we're doing okay. Like, this is actually going well. What do we need to do to invest to make sure that happens in the future? And like I said, no one's talking about it. All people are talking about is make more money, make more profit, put more money on ads, reinvest the money again into the business, make more money. Just ask yourself why, like what your goal would be with that and what it looks like. Because do I think that in the future we may do other work or other in another industry? Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll be interested in it. Maybe we'll try something. Maybe we'll still do YouTube stuff. Maybe it won't be business related. Maybe it'll just be fun. Maybe it'll just be us dicking around. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it'll be a golf channel. Who knows, right? But the point is we'll be in a position to do whatever the fuck we want to do with it. Whenever we want to do it. We won't need to post every day if we don't want to. We won't need to make sure we do that. We'll do what we want to do on our terms. And I think that's such a powerful thing. I think that when we talk about what you want out of life and what you want to achieve, I don't see, in my opinion, any greater thing than looking back and going, but I changed a lot of people's lives and I had a good purpose. And now I get to enjoy my life and do what I want to do when I want to do it. I just don't think enough people are considering what they want out of their future with that.
And every decision that you make is geared towards that as well. Like every decision that we make is forward thinking, realistically. And again, I think I've mentioned this before on a couple of our members' calls. Hello.
£99.
Keep saying it. And it's like when you are self-employed, especially in this industry, like, and this is not derogatory to any guys that might be of this age, but imagine being a 55, 60-year-old coach. Like, is that what you want? If it is, cool. Like, if it is, cool. But can you imagine that? Like, you've got to have some kind of out. And the lack of coaches that look after their finances, I worry to some degree. I mean, it doesn't keep me up at night. Like, you know, it's your own finances. But it's like, at least when you're in a job, they're contributing to a pension. At least when you're in a job, they're contributing to a pension. And if you're not contributing to a pension or investing your money or looking at making your money work for you and you are spending what's coming through the door, when we talk about doing something for the future version of yourself, right? That future version of yourself we often think of looking at 6 months down the line with content and clients coming through the door. So it can be really, really, really difficult to contextualize 30 years' time. It can, because we're not designed to think that far. I think I saw a stat, and I put it into one of our calls in the members group. And 150 years ago, the average life expectancy was 39. That's only 150 years ago. Never mind thousands of years ago, but only 6,000 because of the Bible. Religious, don't get into that. So we're not designed to think until we're 60. So it can be difficult to think about yourself. But honestly, like, do the maths on it. Pick your retirement date, right? So pick your retirement date. So let's just say I'd love to retire by the time I'm 50. You go, right, let's say you live till you're 80. So that's 30 years. And then go, how much money do I want to live off per year, right? Let's just say that's 30 grand for 30 years. That's £900,000. And that's not adjusted for inflation, because when you are 55, 60, 70, 80, that 30 grand isn't going to go as far as what 30 grand gets you now. And that's 900 grand if you're retiring at 50, right? 50. Some of you watching this might be 30 and you go, right, I've got 20 years to get to 900 grand. And obviously it's not as simple as just going save up 900 grand, because there's ways that you can make money work for you, right? Like we've done investments, property style stuff, whatever it is. But you do need to be thinking about it. You might think it's miles off, but as soon as you start working in the UK, your employer is usually putting some money into a pension for you, like without you really focusing on it. And you just know that in 6 years, when you're 60, whenever pension age is 65, probably fucking 75 by the time we get there, it's taken care of. If you're your boss, you have to take care of that now.
Yeah. And without going too deep into the numbers, like you can be smart with it. Like you can start to play around with it, and like we've done with the calculations and stuff. And we're going to talk about this at our event in the summer. Funny enough, give people some ideas.
I think we can talk about, because I find it difficult to talk about stuff, but I'm happy to talk about what retirement looks for us. So we've basically worked backwards that we can take. So when we retire in 2029 or whenever, we'll be able to take 15 grand a month out for the rest of our life.
Yeah.
Each. And then that's without any of the stuff that we might be doing in terms of, like, if we start the members group, for example, links below.
Yeah, we should still be in by then.
Still be in it. So that's just what we'd be making from the investments. That's when we can retire. Like for us, arguably you could live off that less than that, because a lot of people do. But for us and what we've designed our life to want to look like, it would give us enough passive income to have a nice house, a nice car, and to have a few holidays a year and still probably be pretty comfortable. So I'm happy. Yeah, I just get awkward talking about stuff right now. Don't know why.
I'm the same.
It's stuck in my throat.
I'm the same. Like, it's just not relevant. It's just not relevant, because like you said, even if you were to look at those numbers and go, okay, if you wanted to retire on 5 grand a month, which is still amazing. Like people retire on far less than that even now, right? So if you go, okay, it's 5 grand a month, you just look at it and go, okay, well then it will be a third of what we've basically saved up to now. Okay, cool. So you just, again, we've played around with all these numbers. We've looked at it all in depth, because we've played around with different scenarios and different things, and based on, again, investment, stocks and shares, based on dips and highs and lows, there's going to be these time points, right, where things are going to crash and all that stuff's going to happen. You have to plan for this stuff, right? But you can plan for it. Like, this is the thing, is like this, it's not that random. Like if you look back over 30 years and go, well, it's probably going to be pretty similar. You know, there's COVID, there's financial crashes, 2008, 2000. If you plan for those things as well as the great stuff that could happen for you, you'll be amazed that maybe it's not quite as far off as you think. So yeah, like Mike said, we planned for that amount. Now, again, it might be higher than most people might be wanting to do. Maybe that's because of, again, got a kid. Maybe Mike wants family. You've got to think about these things a little bit more, right? So you do have to hedge your bets a little bit. But it's just something that I just don't see coaches thinking about, is that I see coaches wanting to get to 10K a month, but I don't see them going, okay, well, what happens when I get there so that I can live off 5K a month when I'm older? Like, that's what I'd be thinking. Again,
spend it.
We've always been of this mentality of just like, what happens when we get to that point? What do we do with it? Like I said, I spend 30% of what I earn. How many coaches are out there doing that? Like when we move, I'll tell you, this is what I can tell you, is like when we moved out here to Dubai, I spend the same now I'm here 3 and a bit years later, than I did compared to what I earned when we moved. That's what I spend. No more. Everything is just saved. Like everything has been saved. Moved on from that point. So if you look at it and go, my salary, right, what I pay myself hasn't changed for 3.5 years. Now, again, it was a good salary, right? I'm not going to pretend otherwise. It was a good salary. But again, I go, how many coaches are doing the same thing? How many coaches get 20 new clients and go, oh, fucking hell.
More cash.
Brand new stuff. I didn't. Like, so I can retire when I'm 40. That's the difference. I think that's the key thing to remember here is that at no point, I remember clear as day, we were in Bath, right? And I think I probably had about 40, 50 clients at the time. This is an insight into like our mindset, right? With this stuff. And I'll never forget it. Is I remember I was starting to get into coffee at the time. And I remember that I wanted this kettle.
I remember this.
This special
spout.
Like
30 or 40 quid.
40 quid for this kettle, right? Special kettle. Now, I had another kettle anyway to boil water with, right? This kettle was 40 quid. And I remember saying to him, I was like, oh, I don't think I should get this kettle. It's a bit much, it's a bit expensive for a kettle, isn't it? And you went, it's a fucking kettle. You can afford 40 quid. But it was like, but I had a kettle.
I remember another time.
There was, what else was there?
I remember we were walking in Bath and we walked past the barbers.
Yeah, same thing.
And you went...
around the same time.
I can't wait to be able to afford to go and get a haircut at barbers. Something like that.
Get my beard done every couple of weeks.
Get my beard
like hot towel.
Yeah,
hot towel
every couple of weeks. And you must have been on about, what, 6 grand,
probably,
7 grand at that time, a month. I'm like, you can.
Yeah.
You can. But he doesn't.
But that mentality was always like what's led us to this point, right? The mentality of I need to be in a place where I can definitely afford it multiple times over. Like I don't know if you ever heard this. Someone said it. I don't know who said it.
Jay-Z.
Is it Jay-Z? If you can't afford to buy it twice, don't buy it.
Yeah.
It stuck with me that for forever. And I'm even worse than that. If I can't buy it like 4 fucking times, I won't buy it. Like it's just something in me, right? Now, whether that's healthy or not, I don't know. I just know that's just the way that I'm programmed to think. But then I also sit here and go, it's allowed me to sit here and plan for retiring at 40, so it can't be that bad. Do you know? It can't be that bad. And I'd rather be that way than be what online coaches are, which is, oh, I've just got 20 new online clients. I'm going to go to fucking Mauritius on holiday and buy myself a new watch. I'd rather do that when I'm 50, right, and be able to actually enjoy it than worry about it now when those clients then leave 3 months' time because you can't coach them, right? They're just 2 examples of like our mindset. That was back in Bath. That was back when, again, doing 6K a month, whatever. Like that mindset has enabled us to get to where we are. And I think that a lot of coaches need to check their financial mindset. They need to think about what they're doing. And they need advice around this stuff because no one's teaching it, because all you see online is just more money, more money, more money, more profit, more profit, more profit.
Paid in full.
Yeah, get all this money. And the worrying thing is that it's an industry where people are starting to get a lot of cash in, but they're actually, as a whole, very poor with their money. I think coaches, but again, I don't know many other industries, to be fair, but from what I see, a lot of you are very, very poor with your money financially. Like the financial sense isn't quite there. I think it's from being self-employed. I think it's a bit of that. I think when you're employed, you just get your set salary each month. You probably get better at budgeting because you know what, whereas with this, because it does vary each month.
Dribs and drabs.
There is dribs and drabs. Whereas in the members group, £99, right? We have this concept where I've talked about before, where it's like, as an online coach, you should set yourself a salary. Every 6 months, you have a salary review, like you would in a job, and you pay yourself and you change it. Your business's money in this pot, right? In this pot is not your money, it's the business's money. So whether you're paid 3 grand a month, 8 grand a month, 12 grand a month into this pot, doesn't matter, because your pot here is 3,000 a month, regardless. So your business makes nothing 1 month because it made 8 grand a month before, it doesn't matter. It's 3, right? Then at the review, you go, oh, this business has made this much money this year. We've got this many clients. Oh, we've got a profit. We've got a capital in the business of this much. I can afford to pay myself 3.5 grand a month now. That is the way that I would do it. And that's the way that I always have done it, is I pay myself a salary. So that even now, we've had discussions like this before where I go, oh, I'm going to wait till next month to buy that because that's when I get paid. And he looks at me and is like, you fucking moron, like laughing at me, joking, right? But there's a mentality with that which makes sense. It's well, no, I don't need to buy it now. I can wait. Like when I get paid, it comes out of that amount of money that's in that pot. We joke all the time about how many different accounts and pots I've got.
He's got loads.
It's ridiculous, right? But I can retire when I'm 40. So I go, proof's in the pudding, really, with that sort of stuff. And I just think coaches need to be more switched on. And they would panic less and they'd be less emotional about clients coming in and out and stuff like that as well.
I'm not quite to that degree, but I also do invest 50% of what I earn. So because I feel okay investing 50% of what I earn, I'm happy to be a little bit more frivolous than that. So yeah. So
I also think if I didn't have a 9-year-old I think I'd also
yeah.
be a little bit more like, well, actually, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
And I can have that. Like I said to you before, like if I had a bit more flexibility, I probably would be going back to the UK a little bit more, and I would have a house back there that I'd live in. So I couldn't afford to invest as much. So there is that element to it where it's like horses for courses based on where you're at, for sure. Because the actual total number we invest is the same as well. That's the thing, is that you do have more clients than I have.
Yeah. So the total number, so you will be investing a slightly larger percentage of your income.
But it'll be about the same.
But it'll be about the same. I don't really class the house back home as investments.
No. But it would be.
And the cars.
Technically.
That's where my
cars aren't investment, are they? Cars aren't investment. It's a liability.
But they're fun.
They're fun, yeah. So yeah, like this is the stuff we talk about, and this is stuff that I just don't see any of the mentors talk about. I don't think any of them are equipping you with this knowledge. I don't see any of them talking about this stuff. They're all focused on getting money in, and that's all they talk about. And we're here going, yeah, that's great. But when you have the reason why, and you have the reason that you want to do this stuff, I believe you look at this very, very differently, and you start approaching it with a different mentality. That means that you'll, for the longer term, A, have a better business for sure, and B, know why you're doing it. That's why we're retiring when we're 40 and 41.
Yeah. A better hook would have been how we're able to retire at 40 on 15 grand a month for the rest of our life.
Well, you could just say it now, and then we could just chop it in.
In this video, it's too staged.
No, do it.
In this video, we're going to tell you how we're going to be able to retire at 40 years of age on £15,000 every single... Nope. Can't do it.
He's fucked it.
Can't do it now, mate. In this video, we're going to talk to you about how we're able to retire at 40 years of age on a salary of £15,000 per month.
There you go, right? And the magic of YouTube means we're going to chop that out there and just put it at the front.
This doesn't make sense, though, because it sounds like we've got the salary of £15,000 a month now. And
yeah, it does sound like
doesn't
that.
It?
Yeah. Do it again. Make it better.
Oh, God. We'll be able to retire on £15,000 a month when we're 40.
Say how you want. What do you think sounds better?
It still sounds off, though, doesn't it? It sounds like we're able to retire on 15 grand. You know, like we're earning 15.
We're earning 15 grand. Yeah.
Leave it as what it was.
Well, there we go.
That's a waste of time.
That was a waste of time. Join the members group, you'll figure out how to do it yourself.
Is that enough CTAs for you?
Yeah. Notoriously bad at them. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you want us to go into more depth on this, we will do a video on this in the members group. But also, come to our event. Come to our event, because we're going to talk about it in more depth.
Yeah, you could come to our event.
We're going to break it down.
Yeah, should we put some tickets? Oh, no, we can't put the tickets.
Well, if you're in the members group, you'll get a ticket.
Yeah.
So there you go. And cheaper price in the members group as well than what we're going to sell it to the public for. So you might as well get in.
Cogito, ergo,
£75.
You'll be fine.
I'll catch you in a bit.